Boys and girls, guardians of all ages, Joker back again once again, and today, people, today we are talking Witch Queen. I know, it's been out a while, and we're just now getting around to our spoiler talk, but, yeah, I've been busy. So what I thought I would do with this video is, instead of a review, it would just be a spoiler discussion, talking about the parts of the story that I liked, didn't like, things like that. You know, a little more laid back, a little less comprehensive, because the reality is, we've already talked about the gameplay. You can find those videos here. So another video talking about the gameplay in a review format doesn't really make a lot of sense. But do you know what does make a lot of sense? Protecting yourself while you're online with the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. Now you know the drill. If you're on the internet, people can steal your identity, your passwords, your money. So protect yourself with the help of today's sponsor, NordVPN. They have a strict no-log policy and can help stop your ISP or government from tracking you online. But wait, there's more. Sure, protecting yourself from hackers and nosy government agencies or your ISP that might try to throttle your internet connection is handy. But with NordVPN, you can do more. You can unlock the totality of the internet. You can gain access to geolocked content, shows, games not available in your region. Well, now they are. But wait, there's even more. Gasp, shock, lightning crackle, lightning crackle, lightning crackle. There is a new feature. Deciding that being a VPN wasn't enough, NordVPN thought they would offer more features. So on top of opening up the totality of the internet for you, what they have decided to do is offer this feature called Threat Protection. Once you activate this feature, NordVPN will protect your computer from trackers, malware, malicious websites. So enjoy ultimate security and protection as you surf the internet. But Joker, I hear you cry out, oh contrarian commenter of contrarian comments, VPNs are expensive. Well, that's where you're wrong. Go down to the comments section, look for the pinned comment, or the link in the description, either or is fine with me, and head on over to nordvpn.com, where you can get a 2-year plan with a huge discount plus 1 additional month for free. And if for whatever traveler forsaken reason you find that you don't like NordVPN and you've changed your mind, well, it's risk-free, and they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. And with that, I would like to thank NordVPN for helping us sustain and grow our channel over the last year. So the Witch Queen opens with the return of Mars, and throughout the story, there's a little bit of mystery as to how that happened. Did Savathun hide Mars? Did she take it from the Black Fleet and the Witness? Is this bait from the Witness? We don't know. This gets a little more complex when the reality of Destiny being a game is introduced via the Circle's ARG. Yeah, that was a thing that happened. So for those of you who do not know, because every video is somebody's first, Savathun knows that Destiny is a game and is trying to break free from her reality into our own.
Do the thing.
I am Nostradamus, the voice of God.
This revelation was revealed to us via the Circle's ARG, which was part of the Witch Queen Collector's Edition. In the Collector's Edition, there were loads of hidden things and secrets and puzzles. One of these hidden things led to an ARG, an alternate reality game, where it's revealed that Savathun knows that Destiny is a simulation, but not in that, oh, well, it could be a Vex simulation and we never did answer Sundarish's question kind of way, but in a, no, Destiny is a video game made by Bungie Studios sort of way. There's actually this funny part where Ikora is talking to Arok Jalal, the leader of Dead Orbit, and Arok Jalal, in a bid to try to come to terms with this revelation, tries to say, well, maybe Destiny is the parent reality of our reality, because the light can't be simulated. Well, given the context that this is a game downloaded onto my Xbox, the light is very much simulated. Also, didn't Curse of Osiris have an entire narrative plot point about the Vex now being able to see and simulate light?
Sagira, we can see your light.
This debate between Ikora and Arok Jalal seems to solidify the fact that our reality is the parent reality, because we can and do simulate the light and the darkness. So because this new lore, we can legitimately say that Mars was returned to Destiny because Bungie wanted to return Mars to Destiny. And that would be a legitimate theory within the universe of Destiny. And while I do think that Savathun knowing our reality exists and was trying to escape to it is neat, it also becomes a writing crutch. Because instead of needing to dress up the events of the Destiny universe within the veneer of lore, The legitimate answer to anything that happens in Destiny is now, well, because it's a video game. And when the reason as to why the Destiny universe functions as it does isn't that immersive lore and storytelling, and it's, well, because Bungie likes making money and we like being entertained, I think you lose a lot of the magic of the world. But I digress. So through one event or another, Mars has been returned to the Sol system, and Ikora and her Hidden are investigating. You'll note that the Darkness Relic that we use to craft our weapons, which is sort of a time travel device, is not that far from the cradle the traveler seems to leave in its wake. There's also these tears in space-time that show us a Golden Age Mars, but Bungie doesn't really do anything with it other than having some interesting scenery. I mean, I guess technically speaking, given that the weapon crafting artifact is some sort of space-time displacement, reach into it and hopefully you get what you want because, well, we do because we're awesome. MacGuffin, you could argue that this is part of that space-time disruption that is caused by this machine. So I guess the time-space disruptions do play a sort of background flavor role to the world building. We're also not the only ones to notice that Mars has returned. Cabal have as well, and they've decided to invade. Keitel's plan apparently seems to be to take Mars for the Cabal Empire, and everyone's just kind of okay with this. However, none of this matters because the Cabal have a cannon, and we need that cannon to get aboard Savathun's dreadnought. Why, when we could easily just use our ship to fly there? Fuck you, that's why. So of course we call ahead to the facility that Keitel is setting up and ask our Cabal allies if we can fire ourselves out of their cannon. Wait, that's not what happens? Oh, no. We proceed to butcher our allies by the hundreds in order to take control of a cannon that we can fire ourselves out of at Savathun's ship. Yeah, I don't get this piece of writing, more so when throughout the course of the campaign and the post-game, we'll encounter Cabal that have defected or Cabal that serve Callus. It seems like it's just there to set up a bit of fucks drama when we return to Earth.
You opened fire on us. My warriors were responding to unexpected threats.
Surprised you hadn't troops left to report the incident.
Not sure I'd go in there if I were you.
The rules of engagement had changed.
I don't need to listen to this.
Guardian, what fortuitous timing.
Indeed. I'm fresh from performing Cabal funeral rites. Care to explain?
Our condolences, Empress. Your people fought and died with honor, but they didn't have to.
But really, this doesn't go anywhere, it's all forgiven, and we keep keeping on. So we enter Savathun's dreadnought, and the story from there is pretty straightforward. Savathun has taken the light. There are now Hive Guardians. And it's our job to figure out what's going on. We do this with the help of Finch, the Throne World vendor whose job it is to point us in the direction of a handful of artifacts hidden away on Savathun's Throne World that might help us understand how Savathun stole the light. It seems like there's a little bit of a missed opportunity because Finch knows way too much, and it just so happens to fall directly into Savathun's plan to get us to take the artifacts, but Finch is our ally? Okay. And the plot twist to Savathun taking the light? Well, it doesn't appear she did. The long and the short of it is, while it does seem like Savathun has done something, the DLC intentionally leaves it nebulous as to what that something may have been. What we do find is the krill, the proto-hive species, were always destined to be uplifted by the Traveler.
These frail siblings,
will soon be claimed by the light. Unless we claim them first, we will tell the most cunning sibling of a cataclysm, a prophecy of great loss. We will feed her fear, her pride. We will say, young Savathun, the end is coming. A great cataclysm. A god wave. In the sky, there is only death. But salvation lies in the deep. Lead your sisters down. Your coming will spare their short lives. And you will be reborn, the Witch Queen, Savathun.
They were tricked. The Hive were lied to.
So yeah, that's one huge retcon. By the way, for those of you who do not know, all a retcon means is retroactive continuity. That's it. That's all. Doesn't mean it's good or bad. It just means retroactive continuity. Get it, got it, good? And it's fucking amazing. So what we find out is, as far as the Hive are concerned, the Book of Sorrows are a factual retelling of their history. The Traveler appeared in the orbit of Fundament, the moons were aligning, and this was all going to create a god wave and wipe out all life on Fundament. However, clearly, that's not what happened, and it turns out the Hive were lied to. This singular lie would turn the Hive into the Witness's greatest army. They would make a bargain with the worm gods and doom countless civilizations over the course of however long it's been from there till now. And this revelation sort of blows the lid off of everything that we knew about the Hive. And this is a good retcon because it does what a lot of Destiny retcons don't do. Builds on lore that we already knew and understood, tells us, well, but actually, and then builds up our newest adversary by showing how cunning they were in entrapping the Hive. This is the sort of retcon that acknowledges the past, but also moves forward and sets up new and interesting things for the universe of Destiny. What I find funny about this revelation is I think it's more important to us, the player, than it is to anyone involved in the story. I mean, yes, of course, Savathun and Ikora both have a little bit of a wait what moment, but ultimately Savathun's like, okay, I guess that sucks, but I still have my plan. She's like, I am going to unpack that in therapy later, but for now, I gotta take the Traveler and try to protect it from the Witness. And if anything, I think this revelation solidifies in Savathun's mind what she's doing is right. Because if the Witness could fool the Hive for eons and turn them into this great devourer of civilizations, then what hope does humanity have? What hope does the Traveler have? So in her mind, this revelation solidifies the fact that what she's doing is right. But then she tries to take our immortality granting piece of the pie, and, well, I value my existence more than I value Savathun's, and she's trying to deprive me of my immortality juice. There's only so much immortality juice to go around, and, well, you try to take what's mine, we all know how that goes.
Isn't this interesting? I miscalculated. So did you, Guardian. So protective of your Traveler that you wouldn't let me keep it safe. But the Witness is coming. The game is yours to play now. Yours to win or lose. Just don't say I didn't warn you.
It's almost like we did this before. So Savathun dies, but not really. And this is where the lore gets kind of muddy. Amaru, Savathun's ghost, comes in to revive her, as you do, but is teleported away by the Traveler. Meaning, the Traveler still wants Savathun to exist, But here's the thing, ghosts don't need their guardian's body to resurrect their guardian. This is told to us by the lore entry, No Res for the Weary. I cannot resurrect him. I've tried so hard. The city's warlocks and Thanatonauts answer all my desperate questions. Even when I begin to ask if he could be destroyed, at least if he were gone, unmade, then I could make him again. If a guardian falls into Titan's methane sea, they do not die instantly, but we can still bring them back on the arcology. If a guardian hurls himself off their ship into space, do we need to wait for them to disintegrate in the solar winds before we bring them back? No, no, it was never this hard before. I see him right there. And he seems so close. All I was ever meant to do was be his ghost. Ghosts don't necessarily need the body of their guardian to res their guardian. However, with Savathun's body captured and Amaru off doing whatever Amaru's doing, this does leave the door open for Savathun to become our ally once resurrected again. After Savathun dies, we're given the cinematic of the Witness, who seems to be the master of the Black Fleet. Now, they're not the Darkness. The campaign makes that pretty clear. They do seem to be an entity maybe like us, or the Darkness's version of the Speaker. We also find out that Savathun protected the Traveler during the collapse, letting the Witness think that they had destroyed it. And this is kind of a big moment because it kind of hints at the idea that if it wanted, the Black Fleet could have just destroyed the Traveler at any time. And the reason we're seemingly given for this is because the Witness wants a champion from Earth. The way that it seems to work is that the Witness or the Witness's disciples will go to a young race or races that have been uplifted by the Traveler and find the strongest among them and basically kill the rest, or have that would-be champion kill the rest of their species. This seems to be Rolk's origin story, this seems to be what Oryx was, this seems to be what Savathun was being groomed to become, what Callus is, and what the Witness wants from us. At least according to the Book of the Unveiling. And the reason that we're seemingly given as to why the Witness does this is, one, because it's just practical. If you're killing all life in existence, you're going to want an army of strong, powerful champions to enact your will. The other reason seems to be philosophical. Basically, life is suffering. People get sick, they die, tragedy happens. There's war, there's famine, there's babies that are born only to die moments later. There's no real point to existence. And unless you absolutely have to exist, there's no reason for you to exist. And the great purpose to justify continuing his own existence that the Witness has given himself is the destruction of all existence. Sort of the super warped, hyper-nihilistic view of existence. Now, why the Witness believes this, we don't know. But I do have a theory. Given that Savathun knows Destiny's reality is nothing more than a video game, that means the Witness is probably aware of this as well. I mean, after all, Ahamkara are aware of this, Rasputin and the Exo Stranger seem to be aware of this. The line of people who are aware that Destiny is a game is kinda long. Surprisingly so. So it would not surprise me that the Witness understands this as well. Now, given that he understands his place in Destiny as it being part of a simulation, his goal may be to escape it, to end it, or to play the role of the bad guy as a sort of developer self-insert character. Yeah, this is kind of the problem when you reveal that characters within your fictional universe know they're in a fictional universe. Basically, everything's chalked up to, well, Bungie want to make money, Bungie want to sell DLC, Bungie need problem in game. Which, I mean, is true, but I don't want my video game running on that logic internally. I do think it would be interesting if the Witness was sort of fighting against Destiny. Like, there's so much lore that crosses over between Marathon and Destiny that they're probably the same universe. But in that cycle of cycle sort of way, where the Marathon universe ended, came to a close, the gardener and the winnower picked up the pieces from their flower game, and they started again with new rules, and that's the Destiny universe. So this is just a cycle of a cycle of a cycle of a cycle, and the Witness is somehow cognizant of these cycles. A sentient scrap of code that has been carried over through all the Bungie engines. Then again, the Witness could be ignorant of all of this and just believes what he's been programmed to believe. Yeah, I kind of don't like this plot point, because when you break the fourth wall, the motivations for characters go from, okay, here's this well-written lore, to, no, they're only doing this because it's a video game. And I know, they're only doing it because it's a video game. But immersion, it breaks the immersion, and it does it in such a bad, tacky, god-awful way. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Remember to like, but only if you did. Subscribe for more. Feel free to donate to my Patreon if you're feeling particularly generous. But above all else, stay frosty.